Hi everyone, Cohh here with another thoughts video. This time on Blair Witch. This is a horror game that I don't think is based on the movie. It's hard for me to tell because I haven't seen the movie, but I'm pretty sure this is kind of like a game that exists in the Blair Witch world and probably has a lot of throwbacks and references. But I don't believe, Chad, help me out here, that it has anything to do with the actual movie plot. Okay, Chad is saying that is correct. So this game, it's a spooky game. There's jump scares. The good parts, the graphics were beautiful. The audio was very well done. It's very positional. So I was wearing a set of headphones for the first part of the game, and you could easily tell where things were coming from. It was kind of like Hellblade's Newest Sacrifice, but I don't want to say quite as well done. It was pretty well done. Hellblade's Newest Sacrifice is kind of what I would call the game for positional audio. Like, it's some of the best I've ever done. This game does make a very good effort, but I don't feel like it could have been used a little bit more, but it is there. And the audio was very good. The graphics, though, were pretty beautiful. The game takes place mostly in a forest, and without spoiling it, and other places, but everything looks lived in. Everything looks very natural. The graphics were good, and yeah, the sound was good as well. Now, as for the game itself, without getting too much into spoilers, the game is kind of split up into sections, and I did kind of enjoy the first sections. I had a good time with them. However, as we got closer to the end of the gameplay loop shifts a little bit, and I certainly enjoyed the first little bit more than the last. And if you play the game, I think you'll understand what I'm talking about. On top of that, there were a couple scenes that I feel were unnecessarily triggering for some people, where things are happening for an extended period of time that I can tell you, at least I'm one of the people where I definitely do not like that kind of stuff. But again, I'm guessing the devs were going for that exact feeling by doing it, so I don't know how much I can fault them for that. The story itself was okay. I'm both. Well, I'll just say I'm slightly disappointed how early we called it. And I don't know if you will have the same experience in yours, but I will say that if you're a horror game fan, in terms of story, I don't know how much new stuff this is going to deliver for you. That being said, the presentation is I'd say average to above average. It's certainly not bad. Fans of other styles of games like Outlast and even a little bit of Amnesia, I think will probably feel relatively at home there. But at the end of the day, I will say that I was looking for a little bit more from this game. I was hoping for maybe a story that kind of threw me for a loop, where in my mind it did kind of end up to be a little more straight arrow than I was expecting. There are multiple endings, and I did only play through the game once, so I'm not sure what the other endings are like, but maybe there's more variance in terms of the decisions you make throughout the game. But yeah, overall, the gameplay of this game was good, especially the first portion of it. There were definitely times when I was glued to the screen, waiting to see what would happen next. But as I got kind of more closer to the end, and as the picture kind of became more cogent and visible, definitely was running out of steam as we got towards the end. I definitely got to the point where I was kind of like, okay, let's wrap this up. I know where this is going. I see the destination. Let's go ahead and kind of wrap this up a little bit. And honestly, that's never really too good of a thing to feel towards the end of a game. A lot of times at the end of scary games, you want it to really lead up to something and then kind of have it blast you in the face. Didn't really get that with this game, unfortunately. But again, I do play a lot of horror games, so maybe that has something to do with it. Anyway, in terms of recommending this game, I think that it's kind of a hard recommendation for some. I'm not entirely sure on the price, but I will say that I felt like I got pretty much everything I wanted to out of this game in 4 hours. So that being said, right now, if you were to buy the game, it would cost you $30. So I will say, unless you're a real big fan of kind of the immersive style of horror games, you might want to wait for this one to be on sale for the amount of gameplay you're going to be getting for $30. Full disclosure. That being said, I recommend, if you are wanting to look a little bit more of it, check the first portions of my playthrough. I don't go too far because the spoilers come pretty quick. But you know, if immersive horror is really your thing, it may be worth it. But I think for most folks, are going to want to go ahead and wait for a sale. So there you go. This has been another Thoughts video. Again, thank you for watching. If you are watching this on YouTube, make sure to drop by the channel, twitch.tv/CohhCarnage, and say hello. And for all that watched the playthrough, really appreciate it. And we'll see you next time. Thank you.